This video is intended to be an in-depth description of a Lightblade named Harmony. I will start with the main blade banding, consisting of golden healer quartz, a lovely stone of gold-white light crystalline frequency broadcast, subcapacitated in between blue lace agate, a very prominent stabilizing 5th chakra influence stone of the water elemental spectrum. Running a circuit like so, down hither, into two transmutation bands you cannot see because leather is concealing them, but looks just like this, consisting of hematite and smoky quartz in an ignition sequence producing a transmutation ratio. On one side is brass, with this lateral band right here engaging over here like so, closing the circuit, and silver for the projective receptive continuity of the exact same vibratory ignition sequence of smoky quartz and hematite in succession, creating a closed loop transmutation ratio, which goes down into here with this main engine section of this closed loop circuit of the framing, same exact sequence underneath the hood as well, of smoky quartz and hematite running in a perpetual circuit, much like a figure 8. So that's the basic framing right there. I will start off with the engine. This right here is Larimar. Actually, I'll flip this side because there also is petrified wood next to the Larimar for this size demonstration. And this wire will be attended to after this video is taking place once the hood is installed. But obviously, for the description purposes of this video, having the hood off is very advantageous for showcasing what exactly is in the composition. So this right here is a Lemurian clear quartz as the main engine. This down here is a celestial smoky quartz, which works as a very powerful auto-regulator of higher cell frequency output that will govern the amount of energy governed on the higher self of whoever is engaging this device to run exactly at the right ratio of frequency appropriate for a situation involved with the wielder's needs in that exact moment. A very essential auto-regulation device. This right here is fire agate, lovely stabilization of the fire element of stimulation of lower 3 chakras. This right here is petalite, a lovely lithium-based clear ray stone of extreme higher mind, soothingness to the mind as well. This right here is green and purple fluorite, stone of order in the mineral kingdom. This right here is lithium quartz. Lovely aspect of lithium in the quartz is producing a very soothing frequency broadcast, which of course has an archetype of harmony to attend to. So the different vibratory structures of any given device for the archetypal name all match up to be in the closed loop circuit to perpetuate the goal of the archetype in existence. So hence lithium quartz is very useful for producing a very harmonious field. This right here is ruby and zoisite, a lovely synergistic combination of the ruby, of course, a very famous red ray stone of antiquity, with the zoisite, a very powerful heart-mind activator, which works very lovely together for a transition into the true self's vibratory output. This right here is a nice piece of black obsidian to give it a cosmic jolt from the Earth stars to the soul stars, very potent space obsidian. This right here is fulgurite, petrified lightning, very powerful for the entire chakra column as well. This right here is tiger's eye, a way to align and stabilize the lower 3 chakras as well. Lovely stone for that purpose. This down here is holly blue agate, a lovely stabilization of the wind element into the chakra configuration system. Very rare stuff and very special. This right here is scoisite, lovely white ray stone of divinity, of the higher mind activation. Inner peace is one of its keywords. This right here is seraphinite, named after the seraphim archangels, one of the premier healing stones of our age. This right here is serpentine with a little bit of nephrite jade, locally sourced from here from Mount Shasta. This right here is tumbled blue sapphire, another stone of antiquity, be the perfect antithesis to this red ray ruby, which are both in the corundum family. So obviously, having the two is a very complementary balance to have the red and blue ray in perpetual balance. Even though it's mostly a blue ray concentration blade because it's very much invoked for harmony, and particularly for communication purposes and diplomacy, if you would. This right here is lepidoite, a lovely lithium-based ray stone, very complementary to this lithium quartz over here for the purpose of perpetuating a harmonious broadcast through the entire structure to achieve its archetypal goal. This right here is red jasper, the perfect antithesis, in my opinion, to the blue lace agate, which works as a stabilization of the red ray opposed to the stabilization of the blue ray. With kunzite, another, once again, lithium-based ray stone of the pink ray, very essential for a very soothing frequency broadcast, which is, of course, the natural goal of this archetype I adhere to. To further stabilize that aspect is moss green agate, which stabilizes the heart and the base chakras through the water elemental spectrum as well. And, of course, amethyst. And that basically covers the main engine. I did not leave anything out. Okay, moving on. So I will start off with the main blade facing. This is turquoise, obviously a fifth ray stone of great continuity and notoriety. Sorry, I misspoke, of course. And this is a rose quartz moon, which is housing a labradorite cabochon on both sides. So naturally the blade facing mimics the exact side over here of the left and right blade faces for the purpose of balance and continuity. And starting off with this selenite right here, there is black, orange, green, and blue kyanites to obviously make very rapid transfers of energy throughout the entire meridian structure. So of course, when the blade is engaged and transferred, as example to my backyard, the energy is very easily transferred into a broadcast through the kyanite spectrums, being a very rapid way to transfer high frequency energies at a very quick ratio. And to help achieve that goal, these are the focalizer crystals. So as the blade band right here runs a figure-8 circuit like so, these are grounded into the central primary wire consisting of brass, copper, and silver to focalize the radial energy into a focus point, the focalizers, for a direct broadcast like so, to discharge and ground the excess energy into a tree as an example. And mounted up upon this right here for the kyanites are mounted is selenite, which works as, of course, a very nice 6/7 activation of the higher self template. And to be very specific for why it's utilized so widely in any kind of light technology that passes through my hands is because it will take an entire algorithm like so. It will purify the frequency, it will harmonize, and also amplify through a purified filter. Hence, the utilization of selenite is very, very essential. At the very tip of the blade is morpetolite. This is, once again, a clear-based lithium stone that is very, very soothing and higher mind inducing. Hence, I say it more than thrice, the entire archetypal construct of harmony, the different crystalline structures are adhered to the central apparatus of the primary wire to achieve the intended goal of the archetype. So once again, harmonious generation. Alrighty. Last but absolutely not least, the primary thumb engagement. This section right here is of course designed for the thumb to engage the construct's vibratory ignition sequence. This right here is Libyan gold tektite, a very lovely stone of antiquity in Egypt that has a great story onto its own, but I may keep it short for the continuity of this video. But basically, I refer to it fondly as goldavite because it has a very powerful celestial impact imprint recorded in its structure. And it's also called desert sandglass because According to science, the conclusive evidence for this stone is still out for jury. But it has a very, very powerful cosmic impact energy. So it is very much a fire elemental stone that stimulates the sacrum and the solar plexus with storm overtones due to its mysterious, mystical, energetic imprintation into this 3D reality matrix. And around that is a power pack of a subcircuit of aquamarine, rutilated quartz, and lapis lazuli to, of course, utilize the beryl family of the blue ray of aquamarine to further impeccify, I just made up a word, fun fact, the blue ray continuity for the fully unleashed fifth chakra, which is, of course, essential for any kind of communications with those you talk to. So, of course, that has the water resonance of the fourth and fifth chakras, then switching over to the lapis, which hits the fifth and sixth, which will help confer the full spectrum range of communication, being the fourth to fifth, then the fifth to sixth being the focus point of the main thumb engagement. To further enhance that power pack continuity up here is a separate power pack making its own figure eight up here of a very special nature. At the center right here is, of course, moldavite. Quite the famous stone these days in metaphysical circles, and its very powerful green ray cosmic essence of grail-like notoriety is, of course, incorporated here on its own sub-power pack. And that is actually, this moldavite is terminated to a very special white stone right here. It's actually a gypsum selenite family variant named intrapolite, which was sourced by a man I know who actually discovered this stone from only, I think it's approximately 80-foot radius, somewhere in the southwest desert that he discovered. Pretty good story. And apparently the imprintation of the energy of some kind of high-frequency craft actually landed on the zone and atomically altered the structure of a normally atypical selenite, which is nothing to sneeze at based on its importance in any endeavor I do with light tech. And he's the one that named it intrapolite because of his interpretation of how it entraps the light so powerfully. And he's had it in his custody for nearly a decade now, with great amounts of field testing of positive crystalline utilization for healing purposes, as well as 10-page documentations or dossiers of psychic sleuthing of trusted channelers researching this stone's origin story. So according to that legend, it was actually Arcturian craft that landed on this one spot in the southwest, gosh knows who, how, or when, and left the high-frequency ninth-dimensional imprint into the stone section of the area that caught into this version of selenite. So it's a very, very special story. And of course, that's where the moldavite is terminated to, because much like its cousin selenite, it will take the frequency, it will harmonize, purify, and amplify the entire algorithm. And to further contain that frequency output of this power structure of intrapolite and moldavite is another power pack band consisting of blue hemimorphite, which is a very powerful zinc-based bluish, whitish ray stone that strongly activates the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th chakras for light body engineering purposes. And to complement that frequency is the illustrious tanzanite, a lovely stone of activation of the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th as well. To complement the frequencies together and subcapacitate between these two frequency broadcasts is rutilated quartz, which will accelerate the frequencies together because rutile works as a supercharger. So it's a way to kind of supercharge the entire power pack's high frequency light body engineering, higher mind activation, impeccability of communication, hopefully design. And back to the blade band focalizers. I didn't describe them in depth because I wanted to get this out of the way, which is quite extensive in its own right. This right here is titanium aura quartz, which is a quartz point pressure coated with titanium in a vacuum. Very powerful for strengthening the entire rainbow light body and the entire meridian system for the entire structure. Hence, it's utilized as a focalizer quartz that terminates directly into these lovely Tibetan black quartz. What's very interesting about these Tibetan black quartz is they look like they have the celestial growth pattern, which is a very essential higher self-regulation broadcast. So when I saw these a good few months back before this video, I had no intended purpose for this construct at the time, but I had to obviously impulsively get these very rare specimens of an already amazing quartz of Tibetan black quartz I utilize quite frequently because of its intensive auric clearing pattern perfection, as well as it basically holding the Om frequency in a very impeccable manner, because obviously it's sourced from Tibet. So the spiritual work done there for millennia has obviously changed that region quite drastically. So any quartz structures from like that amazing spiritual site in reality will hold that frequency. And this stone, in my opinion, holds just about the most Omish frequency out there. So that's why it's very highly utilized in a most high prominence light technology. But having the celestial pattern, in theory, means that it has the higher self auto-regulation frequency broadcast, just like the main sub-engine down here, in a Tibetan black quartz pattern, which, of course, as an extreme crystal nerd, as everybody can see here, is a very big deal to me, for I can nerd out and really enjoy the continuity of the vibratory output it makes, and particularly in a more important structure as harmony. Harmony is a very, obviously, noble quest to obtain, hence the utilization of that in this frequency makes complete sense. Anyhow, I believe that I have completely discussed the mineral composition of this device of harmony, and that is basically it. But I will get into as a conclusion that this right here, Golden Healer Quartz from Arkansas, is a very fantastic utilization in bead format, particularly working as a subcapacitation agent for the stabilization of the fifth ray of blue lace agate, to produce a very powerful golden white crystalline Christ-like energy through the main blade band apparatus, which is a very nice frequency broadcast, because the blue lace agate obviously makes a very stable vibratory pattern as the energy runs its course, with the Golden Healer Quartz being the central sun frequency emanation. So in conclusion, once again, this in theory would be a fantastic EMI inhibitor to keep the wielder into their highest truth at all times in connection with creation. So the ramifications of that concept set in stone are quite advantageous, to put it lightly. Anyhows, another important fact I almost nearly forgot. The main core is alderwood. Alderwood was utilized by the Druids of the UK quite frequently to basically house their most precious magical treasures from any kind of entity, astral intrusions, so that the energy would stay pure and would not be compromised by terrestrial thieves or even interdimensional hijackers, etc. So its druidic connection is very, very well notarized, and the utilization of the main core being the atomical base bone of the Earth frequency with so much celestial configuration running through it was obviously the right choice. With the subcore, there's another stick actually, goes right here to here, being of just good old-fashioned oak. Alrighty. Now I'm ready to bid this video adieu and have a wonderful day. And this once again is Harmony, designed to produce a harmonious field. And yes, that should conclude it. Aho.